Hello, and Aquarius. Welcome to your November 1st through 15th, roughly, tarot card reading. So I can't believe we're in November. This is wild. Time is just flying. All right, so let's dive in. I've already been meditating on your sign, and I pulled some cards, and then let's start with the animal cards. Which are sort of an overarching thematic energy, like an umbrella energy to keep in mind through the next couple of weeks, and also to keep in mind as we move through the rest of the spread. So I'll start by reading them from the book, and then I'll give you my intuitive 2 cents. So we have very interesting. We have the raccoon and the horse is crossing the raccoon. So start. Okay. Here we go. The raccoon. Bo. Sorry, my little dog. No baby. The raccoon. Talented, shadowy, in hiding. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times, it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. When in balance, generous friend, exceptional artist. When out of balance, competitive, starving artist. To bring into balance, making new work. And this energy feels very much like it is this next 2 weeks is all about empowering yourself. Really, really empowering yourself as a person, and also empowering yourself creatively. There is this, and on the bottom of the deck, we do have the Four of Wands. That is very clear and very loud. But there is this strong, and I don't know why I want to use this word, but there is like this penetration of an old reality. Like there's some sort of, there's just this like, there's this, it's a breakthrough, but more than a breakthrough, it's just kind of like piercing through the veil and the obscuration of old beliefs, old belief systems, especially around the self and self-image, this idea of who you are, personal identity, how you identify yourself. There's like this penetration, there's this piercing through the veil of what was, and now this stepping into this new realized version of who you're becoming. So I'll get more into that, but let's read the horse. It's a very strong there's this like claiming of this new identity, this new version of yourself. There's this exploring, and it's coming through. There's this like new ownership of your creativity and your creative voice. I just heard a very empowering energy coming through with these two cards. So the horse is sort of speaking up as your pathway forward. This is so strong. Okay. And there's such grounded energy here between the raccoon and the horse, both earth. Very grounded and swift. There's this like integrity and this, what is the word? Efficiency. Okay, horse. Momentum, freedom, expansive energy, and force. 1 second. Bobo? No. Sweets, no. Horse. The horse represents the most masterful form of earth energy within the deck. It provides us with momentum so reliable, so supportive, that you can ride on its back toward any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. A horse personality is fully awakened, fully alive, and cannot be defeated. When the horse's freedom becomes available to us when we hone and collect our energy through daily practice, building physical stamina, exercise, and mental focus, meditation are the secret weapons behind the horse's legacy. So I'm going to say that again. Building physical stamina, exercise, and mental focus, meditation, are the secret weapons behind the horse's legacy. When in balance, achieves anything, never gives up. When out of balance, runs away, feels weak. To bring into balance, strength training. So yeah, I'm really focused right now on sort of, there's this very earth, very grounded, earth, we're dealing with this, the material, tangible realm, which is including, everything physical that we come into contact with and our own physical bodies. So there is this integrity, there is this efficiency, and I feel for many of you, there is this focus on working, on building yourself, building a physical routine for yourself that is efficient and empowered and fully supportive of this major momentum that you're stepping into and that you're working with right now. That is this current that you're on. It feels very much so like a current, this current. So you're riding with the current here. And so these themes are coming up very strong. There's also this, there's this releasing, I'm noticing this is mostly all black and white. So I feel that gray area, that's going to be a bit, there's sort of this, there's this regimentedness to how you're moving forward and how you're approaching things, especially in how you're managing yourself. But I do feel like, there just feels like this focus, and then there is this sort of riding with this current and this expansive but highly efficient way forward. And there's something so strategic, and I feel like Aquarius was getting a little bit of this last time. I touched on this in the last reading, but speaking to strategy and how you're sort of strategizing your approach. And that's still coming up very strong. The major change that I'm noticing is I feel like there's almost like there was this releasing, and there continues to be this releasing of old baggage, of things that were weighing you down, things that were slowing your momentum. And now it's almost like that's why efficiency is coming. There's this efficient movement forward. And so there's almost this like lightness and this speed, and the momentum is picking up in a really clean way. So there's like this clearing, this lightness, this like how you're spending your energy. I feel like it's very efficient. There's this efficiency to this forward momentum. Okay, so let's just keep these in mind as we look through the rest of the cards. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. Stay. Okay. So this is our focal point of the reading. So we're looking Aquarius, the first 2 weeks of November, roughly. Noble. Interesting. 3 of Pentacles, beautiful, right at the focal point. Then crossing that, we have the 2 of Wands. Wow. So in the recent past here, we have the Father of Wands reversed, anchoring the spread. We have the Justice card. Balance, Libra. Okay. Then coming up here in the near future, we have the Moon, Cancer. Okay, emotional energy. There's also this you see these 2 moons here. They're working hand in hand. Okay. Noble. And then crowning the reading, we have the 3 of Cups and the Son of Pentacles. Beautiful. This is sort of coming up, and this is this crowning energy. And then your general energy as well. We have the 7 of Swords, or the 6 of Swords. Okay. So there is this departure from, one thing, one version, one reality into another. Okay. And then we have in your environment, we have the Son of Swords. Very interesting. And then we have, in hopes and fears, we have the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. And then leading out, so this is sort of leading into the second part of November, and we have the 9 of Wands. Okay. And then we also have these 3 cards sort of showing us a little bit about the latter 2 weeks of November. So we have the World reversed next to the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles right in the middle between these 2, and then the Fool reversed. Interesting. Okay, and then I wanted to pick one card from the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reid, just as like a little experiment. So this is what we have for today. The 6 of Earth. Wow. Okay. All right. So let me give you what I see here. Okay. So the 3 of Pentacles, right at the center. So the 3 of Pentacles, right at the focal point. So this is his integrity of what you've built and what you're building. There's that stability, that groundedness, that earthiness, that rootedness. And we're looking at structure here. So there's the structure, I feel for many of you, the structure that you have established in your routine in your life is really sound, is really strong. And I'm feeling that I'm looking at this big mountain, and I'm sort of noticing that that there's a lot of ambition present, and there's almost like this this adventure, or this this goal, this idea of where you're going that's very lofty, but you have the support, you've created the support, you've built and are building the support and the roots that you need in order to climb this mountain. So there is this sense of looking forward, knowing that where you're heading, it feels like it is, there's this, and also with the 4 of Wands, there's this sense of direction that I feel like has thematically been coming up for Aquarius, but it's just getting more and more, the feeling I'm getting is there's just this pinpointed focus here. You know where you're going. You're right to the top. And then it's almost as this momentum picks up, I feel like now things are getting quiet on the outside. So all of like the busyness, all of the chaos, the noise, you found a way to begin to like, it's getting quieter. So there is this like intense focus to the point to where there's not much that can get you off track. all the noise is just noise. It's there, and it's not interrupting this forward momentum. And the momentum is still very steadily building. The Two of Wands, building, building, building. And so this, I feel like this is going to continue, this continued focus and less noise. There is this articulation of your focus, of where you're going, of your vision, of your direction. And I just heard your focal point is your focal point. So really where you set your sights, that is becoming more and more so the focal point of your life. Where, you know, before you might have been a little bit more stirred and moved by stuff around you. Now it's like you have this focus that is really filling up your, that is kind of taking over. And everything's in place, I just heard. Everything's in place. So there's this build of momentum, this Two of Wands, this venture, this going to the top, venturing to the top. So rooting the spread, again, Libra's coming up here, and it's a matter of balance, and it's a matter of, you know, the Justice card often speaks to contracts and negotiations, and so I feel for many of you, there has been something that in the past you may have negotiated around that's like no longer up for negotiation. So what was negotiable, like there are these non-negotiables that are in place that are deeply connected to, you're not compromising in areas where in the past you would have, and it feels as though that's helping to streamline this movement forward for you. And there's also, it's a matter of balance. So you have been over however many months or years or whatever, been cultivating this sense of balance, this sense of stability. This has been hard won, this stability and this integrity. And it's been about sort of a matter of balance and striking that balance. And I feel you've done that. And again, we're seeing this black and white. So black and white for whatever it means to you. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with perspective and also, you know, approach. But looking at things as black and white, I feel like it's speaking to that clarity of intention. So you're really clear about your intentions, almost to the point where it's black and white for you. So that way, what that affords you and what you're able to move forward with is saying sort of no to those shiny red apples that come in, because you have your focus. And if something, and that focus is kind of black and white, it's very crystal clear for you. So as things come into perhaps that would in the past distract you and pull you one way or the other, it's just black and white. It's clear sort of what will serve this momentum forward for you and what won't. And you're fully partnered with this vision. So you're only saying yes to what's truly going to serve this greater, idea you have of yourself, this vision you have for yourself, this purpose. And I do feel like in the past, I'm hearing some like that there were some hard decisions that were made, and this might be present for some of you still, but is sort of speaking to, like, you know, challenging decision making that was made, and so the Father of Wands in reverse here in the recent past, again, it's interesting. It's sort of speaking to what's coming through is this sense of areas where you would give your power away. And there's this sense that you're not doing that anymore. And I'm looking up here, and this feels very connected to the Sun of Pentacles. So I feel here on the, on the horizon, there's almost this, I almost want to say a bit of a test. And we're looking at social groups here. We're looking at collaborative groups. We're looking at, family and friends, social groups. And so there might be something coming up that that challenges this new self-empowerment that you're stepping into, that you've stepped into, as a way to sort of to bookend this period of time where you would to challenge this, just to sort of to solidify it, there's this little thing that might come in to sort of test a bit of this, how deeply am I committed to not just giving my power away like I have perhaps in the past. So this reading is very much, again, I said this earlier, but I want to say it again. These next 2 weeks, we're really, really, really looking at self-empowerment and how that's showing up for you in your reality and in your relationships with others and in your dynamics with others, your day-to-day dynamics, I just heard. So coming here in the near future, we have the moon. And I am feeling like it's almost, there's this kind of reminds me of a little bit of the last reading too. This sort of sense of seeing in the dark, where you're still being asked to take these leaps of faith, to move forward on, with seemingly at times your faith alone. And again, with this vision as your North Star, your guiding light. And you know where you're going. And even when you can't see it, you know where you're going in your heart. So that is what's guiding you forward. And here in that beautiful third eye center, there's just this, it's a true vision. So there is, even when you can't see it, even when sort of, in your external world, you feel in the dark, it's not showing up for you right yet. It's still, there is that sense of, following that call. Following your faith. And for some of you, I do notice how, just in the spread, the back sides of these two wands are facing are closest to the moon. And I feel as though it's, whatever this is strengthening your faith. So whatever this dark period is, and dark, I don't want any negative connotations with that, just sort of a period of the unknown or feeling in the dark perhaps. It's there as a way to strengthen, to build your momentum and strengthen your faith and, build that sense of direction. So even when you feel perhaps uncertain or unclear about the progress that you're making, really, really finding a foothold in your sense of faith and in your sense of, faith. That is sort of strengthening it. And even if you can't see it, what is happening is that momentum is building, sharpening, becoming more and more efficient. It's just really picking up velocity. So by the end of these 2 weeks, as you move through whatever this is, however this shows up for you, this period, there's just almost like exponential growth, exponential, build in your momentum. And it's so simple. All you have to do is, even sort of when you're feeling those feels and the discomfort of that the moon card can sometimes bring, those emotions, those heavy emotions that come to us at times of uncertainty, or seeming instability, or this reshaping, this periods of feeling in the dark. It is just really simply opting to have faith is all you need to do to choose to just sort of, follow that faith. That's so powerful for you right now. And then I've already touched on this, but crowning, we have the 3. So I am looking at some sort of celebration, social activities. There's this expansion of your social group, perhaps, and how you are, it feels social. But I do feel that there is, this Son of Pentacles is a younger energy, but very steady and slow. There's a slow moving thing. But whatever this is, I feel for many of you, it could be, it's a character, I feel. And this could even be you, but it feels slower moving and somehow, somewhere form, triggering, triggering to perhaps potentially, again, almost like an echo from the past of something where you're like, oh, in the past I might have given my power away in this way or that way or this way. But there's this opting to show up differently, to show up new in relation to this circumstance. So you're approaching whatever this trigger is in a new way that feels elevated and feels higher vibrational. So it's more in alignment with who you are now and where you're going. So there's this departure. There's this departure from, and it feels like it's been gradual, it's been steadily happening, but there is sort of this piercing through the veil. And then all of these colors are starting to come out. And I also, I just heard laying old troubles to the side. So laying them down is the feeling I'm getting. So like these swords are just laid down on the ground. I feel like these troubles and these worries, again, that lightening of the load, that, things that you were sort of carrying around, you're now setting down. And then there's this continued forward with leaving the past in the past, I just heard. And the Son of Swords in your environment. So a lot of this, it feels like a lot of mind work. So there's a lot of sort of working with your mind and your state of mind and precision. We're looking at this immense precision with this card. And I feel you're supported in that. There's like, you're getting, there feels like guidance and support in, as you move forward and continue to build these muscles. So, yeah, and I just heard trainer. So it's again, we're sort of coming back to the physical body. But I feel like it's almost like a trainer. I feel like there's almost some sort of guide or some sort of energy or support system. And it could be like, that is just helping you exercise these new ways of thinking, this new sort of lifestyle that you're cultivating for yourself, this new relationship to yourself. And there's this clarity of thought and this clarity of vision that I feel whatever this is in your environment is really supportive of. And it feels very kinesthetic. So I feel like whatever this is it's not something you're just thinking about. It's been marinating for a while, this new sense of self, and then I feel like you've really been bringing this out into the world. So it's kinesthetic. It's like you're out there, you're doing it, you're engaging, you're like working with these new tools. They're showing up, you're using them. And then we have, in hopes and fears, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which I feel like it speaks to resources, and I'm hearing gathering of resources. So there is this hope of acquiring all of these resources that, and it feels connected to the Three of Pentacles, where there's this build on your sense of stability. It's almost a sense that I'm getting that these Three of Pentacles that are rooting you, it's now looking to maximize on that and to start to build greater stability. And there's so much integrity in this card. The integrity of this incredible web. So your hope is to like build this immense integrity all throughout your life. And it's like this blueprint, this foundation, this unbreakable, unwavering foundation. Launchpad. More than launchpad. It's like an integrity of a full-blown structure. So this is sort of the launchpad here. And I feel like the hope is actually just to now like truly build up from there, but still maintaining that sound structure. And I feel that you are, and that you will, and that this is just, there's just a lot of integrity and sound structure of whatever it is you're building. And there's also, again, it's speaking to sort of resources. So I feel like there is this focus a bit on acquiring resources and a resourcefulness, which we have with the raccoon. And we have, so there's this resourcefulness that's coming up here, this focus on resourcefulness, how to be more resourceful, and building of resources. So I feel for many of you, we're looking at ways of bringing in more income, and there's a hope for more income and a building of resources of all kinds. So leading into the latter part of November here, we have the Nine of Wands. So there is this continuation of this work and this step-by-step, this steady, gradual progression. And it feels very creative. So it's almost like whatever the approach to things are right now, it's very clear, it's very steady, it's very mindful, it's very strategic, and almost like business-oriented to a degree. But I feel what this is saying is that the nature of this, whatever you're working on, it's with an aim to focus and build on your creativity. And this is like, this is coming from a deep call, a deep passion, a deep intuitive place within you that is driving you forward, that is sort of leading this march forward. And there is progress. There's immense progress. The Nine of Wands. And so we're also looking sometimes with the Nine of Wands that there can be, and it almost, I just can feel my stomach flipping a little bit, like, when engaging with this new sort of, as things build and with this momentum, there's more responsibility that's coming on board. So it's looking at how to handle that. But your structure is so sound that it can handle it. And you know that. It's just more, as things start to materialize and, more of what you want, you're seeing come into your reality. You're like, oh, this is really exciting and this is good, but wow, I'm on call. Like I now have no choice but to show up and to fully show up. And sometimes that might feel a little heavy. Like you're like, oh, I feel this responsibility. Those muscles like quivering a little bit. And then we have also, this is going into the latter part of November, the World reversed. So resources, and then the Nine of Pentacles. So This feels like there is, and when I pulled this card, when I turned it over, I heard stop, start, stop, start. So I think we were looking at a little bit of that in the past reading as well, of sort of this stop and go nature a little bit, that I feel you're getting more comfortable with, you're getting a bit more acquainted with. But I also feel like there is this newness to this card that's connected to resources, it's connected to wealth. So, and I want to say the word offer. I mean, I'm seeing 0 and then offer. I'm noticing, I want to say offer of some kind. And synchronicity always comes up very strong for me with this card. So it feels like there's this almost like happy coincidence, or there's this happy, something comes in here. Like there's this, I just heard going for the win. So I feel like it's some sort of good fortune that's coming in. And it feels very varied. So it's going to show up very differently for many of you, but I feel like it feels like some sort of something that you are that whether it shows up in the form of payment or like it just feels like something, you're being deeply affirmed in some way or form by whatever this incoming is. Yeah, that's really, really exciting and beautiful. And so then this I want to read from the book because Colette has just done such a beautiful job with these. And this book is sort of made up of affirmations, and it's beautiful. So 6 of Earth, and let's keep this in mind as we move through the next couple of weeks. Oh, interesting. And this came out right under. So here we go. 6 of Earth, unexpected resources, happy surprises, generosity. So we're definitely looking at sort of incoming of unexpected resources. That's actually perfectly put for those 3 cards that I was just looking at. So this is just absolutely affirming what those 3 cards are saying. So we're looking towards mid-November, I think. You know, but time is so fluid. So mid-November, give or take. So what I have sent forth in love comes back to me many times over, as the generosity of others becomes apparent and unexpected resources show up. The universe is exhibiting its generosity, reminding me that the world is full of pleasant surprises. Inside the pretty package is tangible aid, a gift from spirit. Just when I was beginning to doubt, I am reminded of the treasures I am entitled to receive that show up at my door. What will I unwrap today? That's so beautiful. So this feels exactly like like it says, which is unexpected resources, happy surprises coming in. So enjoy that, beautiful Aquarius. I love you with all of my heart, and it is such an honor to be reading for you, and I just I'm so grateful for you. Please like, subscribe, comments. I love it, and have a beautiful few weeks. I love you.